Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a GameStop store. Oh, and by the way, just in case you have any more building related needs, feel free to not only check out the description below, which I'll be leaving links to every single one of my tutorial playlists, but I highly recommend checking out the car system, where I'll be leaving links to more specific videos and playlists that I think that you guys will really want to check out. For instance, if you like this GameStop, I would really recommend checking out my real life buildings tutorial playlist, which has a lot of things like this, like McDonald's, some restaurants, some other things, a hospital, stuff that I think that you guys would really want to check out. But moving on, if you want to make GameStop, here's what you're going to need. Grab yourself some block of quartz and some quartz stairs. Then grab some black wool, white wool, red wool, grab some black stained glass, and finally guys, grab yourself some black stained glass paint. Now, we might need some more materials later on as we progress through this, but for now, these all do. So once you have each one of these materials right here, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'll be making it right here, you're going to want to kick off your GameStop with this sequence of blocks in a row on the floor. Start off with 16 block of quartz, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Then do a black wool, and on top of that black wool, go up by 10. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then go right by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then connect that 6th block all the way down to the ground. Then, go right of that block that touches the ground with your quartz by another 16. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. To give you a shape which should look a little bit like this. So this is actually the front of our GameStop. And just in case you guys haven't figured it out, the entrance to GameStop is actually right here. It's right in the center of this big giant archway shape. It actually looks like an N. So once you have that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So on the left and right hand sides, you want to take the three end blocks and you want to extend them coming towards you each by one. So like on the left and right hand sides of your GameStop, take the three end blocks and extend them coming towards you left and right by one, like that. What you can then do is you can go on top of the three original blocks that you extended and the three end blocks that you extended, and you just want to go up on top of them each by 27. That's 2, 7, 27. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. And I'm confident that that is a row of 27, so I'm not going to count that again for this side. I'm just going to take it for granted that I did actually get that right, and I'm just going to apply it to every single one of these blocks. It's not even really a big deal if I did get this wrong, like if let's say that I got 26 or if I got 28 instead, because it won't really affect any of the main structure of GameStop. As long as it's roughly that, it's actually okay. So you want to have a shape which should look like this, and what you then want to do is you want to come behind our like pillar of 3, and you just want to raise it coming back, or extend it coming back I should say, by one row. So we just want to add 3 more rows of quartz directly behind each one of those 3, and then we'll end up with like a 3x3 pillar of quartz that should look a little something like that, and that is absolutely perfect. Now, once you've done that on the left, we want to do the same thing on the right. So let's come all the way to the right, and let's start off with our row of 27. That's 2, 7, 27. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm pretty sure that that is a row of 27, and it seems to be equal with that row that we have on the other side. So unless I counted 27 out incorrectly 2 times in a row, which is possible, trust me, it's possible, but ever so slightly unlikely, so I'm going to take it for granted that those are 2 rows of 27, and that is exactly where I want to be. But as I mentioned on the other side, so you know, like 26, 25, 28, 29, I mean, it doesn't really make a massive difference. Once you've raised out all of those rows, we then just want to do the same thing with the back, and we kind of just want to form like a pillar shape like this, and everything will be fine. So let's just do that. And what you want to end up with, once you've done that to the left and right hand side of the front of your GameStop, you want to end up with something that should look a little bit like this. And there we go, that's not too difficult, is it, guys? Once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So you can see these 2 rows of 16 quartz, or I suppose they're not 16 anymore. They're 2 rows of 13 quartz that we have left and right of the entrance. Add an additional row of quartz on top of each one of those rows. So onto the left, onto the right, add a layer of quartz on top. Like that. What you then want to do is add a layer of black, guys. So add a layer of a black on top. It sounded like I said add a layer of black, guys. That doesn't make any sense. Add a layer of black wool on top of your layer of quartz, like that. What you then want to do is you want to connect the 2 top corners of the entrance all the way to the outer parts of the front of your store. Connect them down to form kind of like rectangular shapes like this, and you just want to do the same thing on the left and right. So what we're now forming, guys, is the windows. We're just forming the windows here, and we're also going to kind of like add in all of the separations and stuff. So we want to have something which should so far look a little bit like that. Now, once you've got that taken care of, this is what we're going to do next. So for the entrance here, which is the middle part, we want to split it straight up the middle, and it wants to come all the way up to the top here. We also, you can see where we have like this horizontal row of black on left and right. Connect that through the entrance, through the center like this. What we then want to do is we also want another horizontal row of black wool that is like, it wants to leave 2 rows from the top of this very top part of the window, and then we just want to do a horizontal row of black. So we want to just mark it out with 2 black stained glass pane, I should mention, 2 black stained glass pane like that, and you just want to have a horizontal row of black. Now, what we then want to do is this. So starting from the left hand side here, starting from this empty space in the left hand window, you want to do this. You want to have, coming over to the right through the entrance, we want to have 3 glass, 1 black, 4 glass, 1 black, and then that's it. That's the left hand side. And then starting from the opposite side on this opposite window, it's 3 glass, 1 black, 4 glass, 1 black. Perfect. Then take each one of those black walls and extend them, coming up until they hit the top of the windows that we already have. So they just want to hit the very top of the windows. They want to hit that horizontal row of black wool that we have at the top, and that will be the separation for each one of the windows. So you can see that the windows on the left and right hand side, we have a big row of 4 window in the center of them, and then we have 2 smaller ones on the left and right. And what we then want to do is just completely fill these in with black stained glass panes. So that's exactly what we're going to do, guys. We're going to do a layer of black stained glass pane inside each one of the... Oh, did I accidentally place you? How did you get there? So irritating. It really is. And it's kind of hard using black stained glass paint on glass. I almost didn't recognize that. That could have been there until the end of the tutorial if I didn't recognize it. But yeah, we're just filling these windows in with black stained glass paint. You don't have to use the paint if you don't want to. Honestly, I'd prefer to use block just because it's easier. But it doesn't look as good, or at least it doesn't look as good to me. But if you don't care, then I don't care. Use block. But, oh god, that would be easier. I wish it looked the same. I wish it did. I wish it was the same to place, but what can you do? You can't have everything, can you? Well, I mean, you can. You could reprogram the game, if you were so inclined. I can't do that, I'm too stupid, but somebody else could. Somebody could make it easier to reprogram. They could make it easier to just place the blocks. Oh, how lovely that'd be. But, oh well, we're stuck with this for now. So, what you want to have, guys, should so far look a little bit like this, and that's what you want to have so far. So, once you've got the windows and once you've got the entrance taken care of, this is what we're going to do next. On top of the entrance, so on top of the windows, each one, and this is like going from left to right all the way up, by the way, we want to do 4 solid layers of quartz. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and we just want to do 4 solid layers of quartz. What do we have left to do on the front, you guys might be wondering to yourselves? Well, we've got to actually do the big giant GameStop sign. That's important, otherwise we probably won't be able to tell that this is GameStop, since their buildings are actually quite generic, and there's no classical distinction of GameStop other than the fact that they say GameStop on the front. So, you know, without it, we probably wouldn't know what this is. It's just a building without the GameStop logo. So, we're just adding this. So we have our 4 layers of block of quartz. We then want to add a layer of black wool. So add a layer of black wool on top of that. And then we can actually add, you know how on loads and loads of buildings, and I'm not entirely sure what this is for, I guess it's to keep out the rain or birds or whatever, on loads of buildings, they have like big giant cloth overhangy things on the buildings. Well, GameStop is no exception. So you can see where we have these 4 rows of block of quartz, take the first one from the top, so this one right here, do a layer of red wool in front of it. So it wants to be directly in front of this row of quartz. So coming out in front, layer of red wool. Takes a while. Then outward diagonally from that, do another layer of red wool. So just outward diagonally from that, another layer of red. Like that. Then do another one. And underneath this one, we're going to add an additional layer of red. And this will just cover up the top row of the window. So this will just cover up the very top horizontal, very long row of black wool that we have right at the top of the windows. And that's, well, that's what we're after. That's kind of what we want. So we just want to have something which should look so far a little bit like this. And that's the front of GameStop so far. And this will, it actually looks a little bit lighter once the interior is done, because we've got loads and loads of light lighting the place up. So once you've reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next. So on top of the black wool, we now want to add 6 additional layers of black. So that will look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we've just got to fill these in. Unfortunately, no faster way to do this. It's just going to have to be left to right. But for some other sides of the building, actually, especially the back and in some regards the right hand side of the building, it's going to be a little faster because we'll be able to like build up and down rather than left to right. So this isn't really that painful of a build, and it's a really easy building. Like the hardest parts, the front of the building, hardest. Then we've got a little bit of windowage on the left and right, and then everything else is quite easy. Everything else is kind of like a mass building sort of thing, which really, it sounds like a gym routine. It's a mass building sort of thing. So I think that we've just about added all of the layers of black wool, have we? If we added all of the layers of black, hang on, yep, okay, so we added those 6 layers of black. So in total, 7 layers of black. To finish this off, we want to add 4 extra layers of quartz. Is it 4? I think it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on top of that is going to be an upside down layer of quartz stairs. And that should just leave us 1 row just shy of the top of the GameStop building. So all we have to do now is do the 4 layers of quartz and then a layer of upside down stairs on the top of that. Oh, and something else that we'll also have to do, and we may as well do this all in one go, because the front of GameStop, like I said, it's quite different than the rest of GameStop just because of the logo and just because we have like the thing that overhangs the windows, and it does have a lot more windows than the other sides. The second most complicated side is going to be the left hand side, where we've got a whole row of windows, but on the right hand side we don't, because there's going to be a storeroom in the way. So that's all of the quartz. Let's add some upside down quartz stairs on top. And what we'll also do is upside down quartz stairs going all the way around the top of the 2 pillars here. So all the way around the top of these 2 pillars, we want to do upside down quartz stairs. And this will look quite nice. Let's just see here. We've just got to move. Let's go on to the opposite side, and I'll show you what this all looks like in one go. I'm not pausing to show you each individual step of this, because they're all quite easy, and I'm sure that you guys are following along quite nicely, because I mean there's nothing too brain turning in here. So what you want to have so far should look a little bit like that, and that actually looks kind of menacing. That's a menacing looking building so far. It's dead and lifeless. Once you've reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next. So in the middle-ish of the pillars, like the front pillar, the front left and the front right-hand pillar, in line with this row of top red here, we want to do a row of 3 upside-down quartz stairs in front of the pillar, and on top of that, we want to do regular-facing quartz stairs, like that. Not only on the left, but also on the right. So we want to, in line with the red, upside down. I said Hey, no one said delete it. So upside down quartz stairs, and then on top regular facing quartz stairs. That'll give you an effect which looks a little bit like this. It just breaks it up a little bit, makes it look a little bit better, and has successfully made the shop look more evil. Am I the only one seeing this? Am I the only one seeing the evilness in this shop right now? Anyway, once you've reached this point right here, it's now time for us to write GameStop. Come all the way up to the top left-hand corner of your big giant black sign. So you're on the top left-hand corner. Go right of this corner block by 1, come down 1, place a white wall. Place 4 white wool coming down from that white wall. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Extend the bottom block to the right 2, up 1, extend the top block to the right 2. That is a G. This becomes a lot easier once I tell you guys, each one of these letters are the same dimensions. They're 5 blocks high, 3 blocks wide, and they are always at least one row away from each other. So now we have to do the A. One row away from the G, we now want to do a vertical row of 5 white wool. We then want to extend this top block to the right by 2, extend that all the way down so it's equal length with the previous row, place a white wool very near the center top to form the A shape. We now have to do an M. So an M, one row away, we want to do a row of 5. Then we want to take this first block from the top, extend it to the right by 2, extend that second block up 1, down 3, and that will be the M. We then, to do an E, we want to do a row of 5 white wool, one row away, take the bottom, middle, and top blocks and extend them each going right by 2. So that, for instance, is game. Now for the stop. So we then want to, with our red wool this time, we've been using white, but the game is white, the stop is red. We want to do a row of 3 red wool at the top here, one row away, 3 red wool, one row away from the E. Take this first block, extend it down 2, right 2, down 2, left 2, that's the S. The T, row of 3, one row away, then take the middle block, extend it down until it is equal length of the other letters. The O, I really shouldn't have to explain this, it's just an O, it's just 3 blocks wide, connect them together, it's just a big giant circle like this. The P, row of 5 red wool, row of 5 red wool, take the top block, right 2, down 2, left 1, and what you should end up with should look a little bit like this. And I know that I kind of rushed through that, but I feel as though that even looking at the letters right here, as long as you know the dimensions of them, you're not going to go too wrong, are you? I'm sure that you'll manage to do that no problem, and in doing that, you've actually successfully completed the front of your GameStop. That's the front of your GameStop. I'm sorry guys, I'm just checking. So, oh, never mind, doesn't matter. So once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. Let's build up the sides of our GameStop. So take out your block of quartz and come to the left hand side here. You're on the left hand side and you want to take this center block. Can you guys see the center block? This one right here. I'm sure you can. The bottom center block. Extend this going back. So for us, left, but back. Extend it back by 25. That's 2, 5, 25. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Extend those last 3 blocks coming towards you each by 1 row. Like that. You then want to go on top of those last 3 blocks and the ones that you extended each by 27. But we can do this in another way. So instead of having to count out that first row of 27, just raise it up until it looks roughly the same height as the front. And then you can just kind of, from this middle block right here, just underneath this top block, do an upside down layer of quartz stairs that goes from one side of the shop all the way to the other. So this now comes towards the back, and you now know that this block that is 1 block higher than where the stairs landed, that is a row of 27. Do you guys see how I achieved that? So we took that middle block that was just 1 lesser than the front, connected it to the back, and then we place an additional quartz on top, and we know that that's a row of 27. That's exactly how we built up the front. And then we just have to raise up each one of these other blocks, and we just have to raise them until they are equal height with the other rows of quartz. And then we're also going to extend them coming across the back of GameStop by 1 row. So once we have like these 6 done, because there's 6 of these that we've raised up so far, we're then going to come to the inside part here, and we're now just going to do an additional layer of 1. So take each one of these, extend them coming across by 1. This is the same method that we'll use on the opposite side, and I think this is just a bit easier than counting out loads and loads of rows. But if you really wanted to, you could count out a row of 27 and you could systematically do it like that. It's completely up to you, of course. So once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. It's now time for us to do the windows. So coming to the base of this side, add an additional layer of quartz block on top of this first row of quartz. So add an additional layer of quartz. Take out your black, add a layer of black on top of the quartz. I'll wait, don't worry, it'll take a while. Then on top of your black wool, on top of the left hand side and the right hand side of your long row of black wool, you want to go up by, I think that's 8, hang on, let me recount. Yeah, go up by 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you want to go up by 8 on top of the left and right hand side, or alternatively raise one up, drag it all the way over to one side, and then connect it down to form a nice big rectangular shape like this. What we now want to do is this. So starting from the left hand side here, inside of our rectangular shape, you want to do this sequence of blocks going right. Do 3 black stained glass pane, 1 black. 3 glass pane, 1 black. 4 glass pane, 1 black. 3 glass pane, 1 black, and that should leave us 3 glass pane. And what we can then do is take each one of those black walls and extend them, coming up until they hit the top of the window, and that's all you have to do, just extend them coming up until they hit the top of the window. What we then want to do is leave a gap of 2 at the top, and then add an additional layer of horizontal row of black wall coming all the way across. So we just want to add an additional row of black wall coming across like this. We then want to take out our black stained glass pane and just add a layer of black stained glass pane on top of that first row. So we're just adding layers of black wall. God damn it, though. Black wall, black glass. I get so tongue-tied during these tutorials. I'm sure that I sound like an idiot. And I do at most times because I find it difficult to articulate myself. But I'm sure especially when I'm doing this, like, as I listen back, I hear myself call things different materials. Like, I'll hear myself say, like, I don't know, like, pick up some, I don't know, some, like, never mind, you know what, it doesn't matter. So once you've got all of the windows filled in with your black stained glass pane, another example of how I sound like an idiot. Once you've filled in your windows with black stained glass pane, this is what you want to do next. So we now basically just want to fill the rest of this area coming all the way up to underneath the upside down stairs. We just want to fill this in with quartz block, and the best way that I found to do this is going up and down with your quartz. Just like this. I found that this is slightly faster than like going from left to right, although it is significantly harder on the eyes, and oh god, whoops, it does require more concentration, and a lot more things can go wrong. So if you want, I would highly recommend, to be honest, just going from left to right, have a nice bit of a relax, put some music on, maybe sing some soothing tunes to your dog that may or may not be sat next to you as you do this. Whatever you want. I wouldn't recommend going up and down because, like I said, whilst I think it is faster, it's so much more frustrating. But for tutorial's sake, whilst that can happen, that's a thing that can happen. That's for an example of what can go wrong. This, and that just extends the time. But I am thoroughly convinced that even with all of these like mistakes, I think that it's definitely a faster way of doing it, because you just simply, you move faster. Oh god, come on! You move faster going up and down than you do going from left to right, or at least it definitely feels that way. So we've almost actually got this. Just to prove my point, we've almost got this this wall done, and there we go. So we have just completely filled this wall in with your quartz block, and it just wants to look a little something like this. And I know that it looks kind of plain, but in all fairness, it's supposed to. There's not really anything on this side. So once you've got that taken care of, to finish off this side, so you can see that on the front of the building here, where we have like this regular facing stairs and this upside down stairs, well, this wants to continue on, and it wants to continue on onto the side of the building. So we kind of like want to connect the front and the back of the GameStop together, and we want to connect it with an upside down layer of quartz stairs and a regular facing layer of quartz stairs. And coincidentally, almost as if somebody designed it that way, they're the same on the front as they are the side, and we also want to do the same on the back. So you can see on the back here, we just want to add upside down and regular facing quartz stairs, if you guys can see how that's done. It just makes it look a little bit more interesting, and that's pretty much why it's added. It makes it look more interesting, that's it. Oh, and also we can do upside down quartz stairs going all the way around the top of the back pillar here. So once we've done this, all we have to do is the right hand side of the building, and then everything will be good, because the back's easy after that. So once you've got that taken care of, you want to end up with something that should look like that. You can see it's a little bit more interesting already. Once you've got that side taken care of, we now want to move on to the opposite side and do a very, very similar thing. So let's come all the way over to the opposite side, guys. So we're on the opposite side now. We want to take this very center block here, this one right here, extend it going back to the right for us by 25 with our block of quartz. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20. Oh god, we messed up that count. Blah, 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 blah. Let's just match it up with that opposite side. I'm pretty sure that that's a row of 25, but do make sure that that's a row of 25, or alternatively, just match it up with the opposite side of your GameStop. Take the last 3 blocks and extend them, coming out towards you each by 1. So take those last 3 blocks, extend them, coming out towards you by 1, and then we're going to use the same method as we did on the opposite side. So these all have to be raised up by 27, that's 2, 7, 27, or alternatively, raise them up until they're roughly the same height as they are on the front, or use that side. Raise them up until they're roughly the same height on the front, then come to the front here, take out your quartz stairs, do an upside down row of quartz stairs coming out of this center block, just underneath the bottom of the pillar, just on the second row, and then just connect the front to the back, like this. Then shave off blocks or add them until you are 1 block higher than the upside down stairs. Once you've done that, you'll know that that is the right height, and then we can just raise up each one of these other blocks. And like I said, if you want to do this manually, 27 on top of each one of those blocks. But I want to preserve my throat, because there's only so many times a man can count to 27 before, honestly, it just starts hurting. It does. Try it yourself, it's not fun. So once you've raised up each one of those blocks by 27, we then just want to do the same thing to the inside layer of 3, like this. So that'll be 1, and 2, and 3. And we can also just do upside down quartz stairs, can't we? Why don't we add upside down quartz stairs just going all the way around the edge of the top of that back pillar, because we may as well. We'd have to do it later anyway. We may as well do it here. So boom, just like that. And that is perfect. Wonderful. So this is what you want to have for this side so far. It should actually look quite familiar to you, because we did the exact same thing on the opposite side. So once you've reached this point right here, you now want to come to the bottom left hand side of your row of quartz, and I'm just joking, add an additional layer of quartz. We want to have 2 layers of quartz before we start messing about with the window, so add another layer of quartz. Then, starting from the left hand side this time, going right with the black wool, do a row of 14 black. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Take that 14th block, extend it up by 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Extend it to the left. Wait until you hit that quartz on the front. Boom. Connect it all the way down. You should have a rectangular shape. That should look like this. What do you want to do next? Come to the bottom left hand corner of your black rectangle. Go right of this empty space with this sequence of blocks. Start off with 3 glass pane, 1 black. 3 glass pane, 1 black, 4 glass pane. Yes, that's all you want to have, and yes, it is in that order. I know that it's not exactly balanced as far as it goes on this side, but the reason that we have it like this is because it matches the opposite window. I mean, rarely we could have had like 3, 4, 3. You can change that if you like, but I like it like this. I like it like in line with the opposite side of the window. So what we now have to do, we have to take each one of the black quarters, extend them up by until they hit the top of the window. We then want to leave a row of 2 at the top, and then do a horizontal row of black wool, just kind of like dredging across the windows, and we just want to have something which should look like that. So leave a gap of 2 at the top, do a horizontal row of black, and there you go. And then what we can do is just completely fill the window area in with black stained glass pane, and then we will fill everything else in with block of quartz, and everything will be good from there. So let's just do all of those things, and then we can move on to the next bit. So the next bit's actually quite easy. Everything's easy from this point, actually. So we just want to have something which should look like that for the windows. Next job, fill this entire side in with block of quartz. So the way that we're going to do this, you guys already know how this is going to be done. I'm going to go up and down, and I'm just going to eventually fill in this side, just because I am convinced that this is a faster way to do it. And I should do a test. I really should. I should do a test. I'm sure that it's just obvious, though. It is. Look how fast this is going. This is definitely way faster. I don't know why I debate this in every video. I think it's because I want both ways to be equal, because I don't like doing it this way. I think I've convinced myself that it might be the same, just because I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Although it's not going. Oh god, I was just about to say, oh, I'm not going too wrong this time. I was wrong. It went wrong. Mayday, mayday, we placed the quartz in the wrong place, but we're just coming all the way across now. We've actually just about filled in this entire wall. Bang goes my theory. This is definitely faster. There's no way about it. I'm going to stop having this discussion in videos because this is undoubtedly the better way. It is. It's the better way. Unless you have very, very poor dexterity like I, then this is probably the better way. So you just want to end up with something that should look a little bit like this. And you're probably thinking to yourself, you're looking at this, you're like, hey, why is there just a white square on the right hand side there? Easy. Stockroom. There's a stockroom in the back right hand corner of my GameStop. I have a stockroom there. I didn't really feel as though it made sense to have a window there, like just showing all of the stock that they have in the back. It'd make it easy to break into, theoretically, if it was a real shop. So I've closed that off, and that's the same reason that there's no windows on the back, because that's where the tools and stuff are going to be. But it'll make more sense when you look at the finished version. So once you've reached this point right here, take out your quartz stairs, and we want to run that row of quartz stairs, the upside down one and the regular facing one, we want to run them from the front to the back of your building. So this is the upside down one. This is going to be the... there we go, the regular facing one, and we're also going to add the stairs on the back here. So to this back pillar in the same row, which will be here. So upside down, and regular facing. You just want to have something which should look like this. Boom. And what we can now do is we can then just fill the entire back of this in with quartz. So it'll look a little something like this. First of all, we're just going to fill in the top part here with upside down stairs. You guys know where these stairs go. It's the same place as they go on the left and right hand side and the front of GameStop. So we just want to do upside down quartz stairs connecting the left hand side to the right hand side, and that'll form the back. And then the rest of this we can just completely fill in with a block of quartz. And this is going to take a little while, although not as long as it usually takes, because we're doing it like this, and I'm so glad that the back is empty. The reason that the back is empty, and I'll explain this now, but I'll also explain it once I actually have my prop GameStop, the one that's actually finished, if you want to call it finished. The reason that it's completely empty at the back, number one, we have the stock room, which is actually roughly right here that we're building up right now. We have a stock room in the back right hand corner, but we have like a load of tills, like and like a walkway and like shelves like behind the counter, like the reception, like where you go and buy stuff, where you go and pay for things. And it didn't make any sense to me to have any windows on the back. Like, why would you have any windows back here? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, then it just didn't, because there's shelves and stuff like that. It just didn't make any sense to have any windows back here, and that's why it's completely plain. Plus, I also had I had a couple of difficulties building this thing, actually. Like I touched on very, very much earlier in the tutorial, this thing, there's not really like a standardized building of a GameStop. Like, you guys have been asking me to make a GameStop, and whilst that's fine and everything, because I've managed to make one, like, I'd really appreciate if like when you guys ask me to make something, if it was actually like a recognizable building, like McDonald's. McDonald's is a recognizable building. KFC, usually recognizable. Burger King, Pizza Hut, like you know what they are. Like Tesco's, like Walmart, like Asda. You know, like the businesses that you can look at the building and you're like, yep, that's it. I know what that is. Before like you even see the sign, before you even see like the logo or anything, you just look at the building and you're like, well, I know what that is. Like, if you see some golden arches and a big giant red roof from like 50 miles away with your binoculars that you're staring at through your bedroom window because you're looking for Santa flying through the sky on his sled, but you accidentally spy McDonald's instead, you know it's Mackey's, you know it's not, you know that it's nothing else. So that is what you want to have for the back of your GameStop so far. All we have to do to finish this part off is we just have to do the layer of regular facing and upside down stairs, which I'm doing right now. I'm doing the upside down part just in case you guys couldn't figure that out just by looking at it. I mean, of course, they're upside down and this is the regular facing, and we just want to end up with something that should look a little bit like that. Perfect, guys. Once you've got that sorted out, this is what we're going to do next. So, last part of the puzzle, we have to fill in the roof. So, first, we've got to smooth the roof off. If you look down on the roof, because of the pillars, you'll notice that we have an uneven shape. Well, fill around the top of the GameStop roof, fill around the top of the roof, coming in with your quartz until you have, well, like I said, until you've kind of like smoothed the roof. So until it basically looks like a big giant square, although I think that it's technically a rectangle, and until you've basically just smoothed all of this off so you can form a big giant square inside of the top of the roof, you just want to keep going around with your quartz until you have something which should look like until you have something which should look like this. And I don't think that we have to come in by any more. No, I don't think we do, because everything's smoothed off now. So what we now want to do is take out our black wool, and we just want to do a layer of black wool that goes all the way around the top, or all the way around the inside of the top of the roof is what I was trying to say here. So we're going all the way around the inside of the top. And after this, I'm going to show you where all of the windows go. So at the top of GameStop, you don't actually see them from inside the store, because I decided to put a roof in the store and some lights and stuff, because I don't think I've ever seen like a game shop without any artificial lighting. But you don't get to see this, but it is a cool effect anyway. So we want to have a nice big giant square of black wool, and just move the black and the black glass closer together. And let's start from the left hand side, just because I'm a little OCD. Starting from the left hand side, from like this corner, coming across, we want to have this. So we're looking towards the front of the store, and we want to have this sequence of blocks. It'll be 3 glass, 1 wool, 3 glass, 1 wool, so on and so forth. 3 on, 1 off, 3 on, 1 off, until you eventually reach the opposite side, and we should just end on 3 glass, because the last block will be wool right in the corner there. So you want to have something which should look like this, and what we will then do is extend each one of those black wools coming all the way across. So from the front of the GameStop all the way to the back of the GameStop, we'll have each one of these extending from the front all the way to the back. Except I'm not going to finish this on recording, guys, because this is going to take a long time, and there's no real reason to actually have this in. So it'll look like this. You'll have loads and loads of rows of black wool coming across the front all the way to the back, and then in between those we are going to have our black stained glass like this. So it will just be filled in with black stained glass, and then we'll have black wool front to back. You guys know how this is going to work. I'm just going to do this first one as a nice little bit of an example, and then I can show you guys the original finished version of this. But this is how it's going to look, guys. Just extend each one of those black walls from the front to the back, and then fill them in with glass. Now, once you've got that taken care of, you will have actually 100% fully completed your GameStop. That'll be it completed. It'll look a little something like this before you mess about with the inside and the outside. Now, I would highly recommend at least messing around with the inside, actually. I don't usually tell you guys that you should do anything, but messing around with the inside really does kind of like add an extra layer to the GameStop. Shall I show you the original version so I can show you what I'm talking about? Let's do it. So, this is the tutorial portion of this officially over. I'm now flipping back over to the original version so I can show you how you can mess about with the interior and the exterior just a little bit, just to make it look a little bit more GameStop-y. One moment. So I know that it's just a very subtle difference, but I just feel as though that having the shop filled, having white in there, having some colours, having the whole thing lit up, it just makes it look a little bit better, or at least that's just my feeling. So let me show you the interior, and then I'll show you the exterior. So the interior is actually really easy to do. As you can see, completely ripped up the floor, replaced it with quartz. I know, highly original. Could have also have used wood, but I like quartz. I wanted to keep this place nice and bright and white. The roof completely filled in with glowstone, quartz, and black wool. You can see how this is kind of done. I'm sure that I don't have to explain this to you. Like coming in from the left-hand side and the right-hand side, we have quartz, then black, then glowstone, black, quartz, black. You can see how this is done. So if you want to keep this configuration of the lights that I have for the ceiling, then feel free, go ahead. And just to point out where the ceiling is, it is just 1 row higher than the actual windows themselves. That's an important part to point out. So you can see how the ceiling is, and you can see that it is just simply 1 row away from the actual top of the windows. So it looks a little something like that. Copy that if you wish. The second important detail, the storeroom. So the storeroom, it starts just like left of this window here on the right hand side of the building, and it comes all the way across, and I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see this, but it actually lines up perfectly with like just the left of the entrance. It lines up perfectly with this quartz that we have left of the entrance, and that's where the storeroom is, that's where the stock room is, and you can see that we have loads of shelves in here, and I could have placed some blocks around here to make it look a little bit busier, but I didn't. The counter is in line with the storeroom, so this is where all of the employees will be working back there. You can see the shelves on there. There's like games and toys and whatever, in the form of wool, obviously, because we can't do some proper toys and stuff. Although I did just get a new thing today. I literally just got this today. Where is it? Where's my new toy? I kind of want to make a statue of this. They have it on PC. There we go. I really could have used this when I was actually designing the interior. I kind of want to here... No. Where do I want to do this? Maybe here? And then here? And then maybe here. And I think that it'd be cool to have these, like, dressed up, because I believe... Yeah! And, you know, just like sometimes like in game stores, it's kind of like comic shops where you can have like, you can buy like, I don't know, like replica weapons and stuff from like Lord of the Rings and what have you. I just thought that this would be a cool idea, and I'm so happy that they actually added these in today. They've added some armor stands to the game, and they've added various other things. So I don't know, I think it makes it look a little bit cooler. I mean, if you wanted to, you could then just add some quartz slab, or you could add in the form of stone, just kind of like going around these, just kind of like do not touch sort of deal, if you so chose. I just think that these are kind of cool. That these would look just kind of nice, and it's also going to make interior decorating a lot easier for my houses in the future, because I've gotten a load of flowers and stuff as well. So you guys can see where the counter is. We've got shelves behind them, like their games and toys and stuff that you can buy. These are obviously tills. Like if you were an employee, you'd be back here, you'd be in the storeroom, you'd be out here, you'd be serving customers. They're just like I said, they're just like replica armor and stuff that you can buy. These are kind of like viewing cabinets that we have right here. Take note of those if you want to, you know, figure out how to build this. I'm sure that you can see how it's all spaced apart. These are shelves. These are just 2 blocks away from the wall from the front and the side, and you can see that those are quite easy. It's basically a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quartz coming up from the ground, and then 3 layers of stairs. We have one of these on the left, we have one of these on the right, and it's actually quite easy. And then I just lit the hell out of this place, just lit the hell out of it, because it's actually very, very dark. And honestly, I could do with more. They've moved everything around, guys. Could even do with a little bit. Can I not? Oh. Well, what about inside? I could swear that you could place it inside the armor stand. There was a way. Never mind. Well, I did want to light up like the sides here, but what can you do? Just to give this place a little bit more light. But you know, what can you do? The lighter this place looks, the better. I almost contemplated not having the artificial lighting, but it seemed to make a little bit more sense than having like a big giant open roof. So that's the interior of the shop, guys. I hope I've given you guys some ideas, and we've even just added another thing right here. Like if you wanted to, you could add like the armor stands here, here, and here instead, and you could move the cabinet. Plenty of things would go right. Plenty of things would look right. But I think it actually looks quite nice in here. And let's just move to the outside. So the outside is even simpler than the inside. So you might be wondering to yourselves, what are these weird cyan clay constructions? What are these supposed to represent? Well, honestly, it's stupid. But you know how you can like tie your bikes to railings and stuff? Like you can lock it to a railing. These are just railings that you'd like tie a bike to, or a scooter, or whatever. I don't know, make something up. That's what those are. I just thought that it'd be a little bit more interesting. It'd make a little bit more sense than like putting a bench outside or something. And that's what those are. And you can see where those are placed. They're placed in line with the blacks of the windows on the left and right hand side. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We have, just in case you're curious, starting from the outer parts of the shop, it's just a layer of 7 quartz on the front. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, and a row of 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the front and back, going all the way around. And there you go. That's how you do the outside. It's just you can see the configurations of the cyan clay. You can see that we have seven blocks going all the way around. Oh, and also just to show you guys the roof. The roof ends up looking a little something like this, and it actually looks cool from the top. You can see how everything's placed. But the shop would have looked a lot lighter, a load lighter, had I actually just left it as it is. A smarter man might have, inside of the shop, remember the configuration of the roof? A smarter man might have done that down here as well, and just let it like shine through, like we would have had like the roof, like just another version of the roof down here. But I want to go with the artificial lighting. I think it adds a little something, and I don't know. It seemed to make more sense to me, but you guys can do whatever you want. You can, I'm sure that you can grasp what that would look like without all of the glowstone, and you can figure out which one you'd like better. So why don't we just start from the front, and why don't we make the rounds? So this is my GameStop. I'm actually quite happy with it. It's very, very simple to make. It's really, really easy, but I do think that it looks good. I mentioned throughout the tutorial, I think mainly at the end, hard building to make, because there's no real standardized version of it from what I've saw, or what I've seen, I should say. From what I've seen, there's no real standardized version of it, so I kind of like had to pick a building that I liked on Google Images and just kind of copy it and kind of like throw my own twist on it, and I have. So hopefully you guys like this. That's such a boring thing to look at, the back of it. Let's move around a little bit. Let's move around to the right corner. You kind of want to be like on the front right hand side, the front, and the front left hand side, and maybe even the left hand side. So hopefully you guys like this. Hopefully you've managed to make it. If you have, guys, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a like, favorite, share. Anything you feel like doing, tell me out, guys. I would just always vastly appreciate it. I put a lot of work and a lot of effort into this, especially into the interior as well. I had to do a little bit of thinking there. Feel free to check out the card system for all of my nifty little playlists and videos that I think are related to this. If you like this, you'll probably like quite a few of the other in real life builds that I've made. Plus, I'll leave a couple of other different playlists and stuff that I think that you guys might want to check out, test the waters with you a little bit. Comment down below, what sort of building do you want to see next, in real life or not? Preferably in real life, because I'm really enjoying having something to work off. It's a lot harder to kind of like, make up your own fantasy building, as you guys might know. It's much easier to kind of like, hey, why don't we just make a McDonald's today? We already know what that looks like, and just try and recreate it. So feel free to comment down below, what do you want to see next. That's how GameStop got created. We don't even have GameStop in the UK. This is like an American store. At least I don't think we have a GameStop. Thank you very much for watching. Like, favorite, share if you wouldn't mind. Comment down below. Check out the card system for all my stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video.